Today I'll be speaking about the CT-based robotic system. So as we all know, for any robotic or computer-assisted surgical system, it's imperative that we feed the computer some anatomical data from the patient so that it knows in real time where the anatomical parts are in comparison to the saw. So this is called as mapping of the landmarks, and the mapping is done intraoperatively, which can be corroborated with pre-op imaging, or it can be independent of the imaging depending on which system we're using. So we need to teach the system multiple things: the anatomical landmarks like the hip center, medial lateral malleoli, and the epicondyles. Then we have to do the bone registration. This information, as I mentioned, can come from image-based or imageless. The image-based can rely either on a CT scan, MRI scan, or an X-ray. Imageless relies only on the intraoperative input. So the MACO, which we do in Sunshine in Hyderabad, is a completely CT image-based robot. So as I said, the classification of the robotic systems, depending on what kind of pre-op imaging is there, is either image-based or imageless. So if these are the 5 major robots right now being used. So you just see the MACO is a CT-based. The ROSA you can have an option of using imageless or MRI or an X-ray. You can use any of the 3. The Smith & Nephew and the Navio Cori is imageless. The Cubis, the Medal Cubis is CT-based, and now the Depu Velis robot is also imageless. Just a few differences between the two. So as I mentioned earlier, the image-based is CT, MRI or X-ray. And you have a 3D model of the knee available before the hand. Just before you go into the OT, you can just run through everything. But there's no such 3D model available in the imageless. Pre-op planning is possible in image-based, not possible in imageless. The bony point registration is to be done inter-op. In the imageless, you need to completely map everything out. So in the image-based, you're just doing the registration with the points. You don't have to actually paint the whole thing out. And only few points are required in each bone, like 40 points in the femur and 40 points in the tibia. But extensive painting has to be done for the imageless. You have to reach till the back of the condyles as well. And image-based is a little bit more reproducible, but imageless depends on the accuracy and the skill of the surgeon. And it can have a bit of human error. So I'm talking about the MACO today in CT-based. If you see the MACO TCAR workflow, the pre-op planning and the patient bone registration are the 2 important steps that I'll be speaking about in this talk. So see this video, I've compiled the videos for TCAR, partial knee and total hip. First a CT scan is taken a day in advance of the surgery. All the segments are taken, and they're taken by something known as the MACO product specialist. What they do is they take each and every film and they start segmenting, and they create a 3D model of the knee or the hip depending on what surgery you're doing. So this is the first bit of advantage that we get. Then we can start planning preoperatively, whether you want to use a 5 size or a 4 size femur, tibia, same thing with the partial and with the hip as well. It's the first bit of information we get. The hip even tells you if you have any shortening or lengthening compared to the other side, which I'll be speaking tomorrow in the hip talk. After you've done all this, then you go intraoperatively, and then you have to start registering points on the bone. So if with the TCAR, the femur and the tibia, both the condyles. In the partial, just the medial condyles, and in the hip, the femur as well as the acetabulum. You start registering points and making sure that they are matching to the CT scan. After you've done that, you get this verification step where you again reconfirm. Only if your accuracy is less than 0.5 millimeters matching to your CT scan will it allow you to go forward. So that is a fail-safe mechanism to prevent any untoward incidents. Only after you've done this can you start removing your bone either with a saw, with a burr in partial knee, or with your reamer in total hip. So what is this bone registration that we keep talking about? It's a process by which the CT-based model is mapped onto the patient's bones. So you get a CT scan, the segmentation is done. Then in the 3D model, the product specialist, he starts to map out the anatomical landmarks like the center of the hip, the center of the knee, and the center of the ankle. The same thing is mapped intraoperatively as well. And once the 2 are overlapped, then you can go ahead with the procedure. So the first is the major patient landmarks, center of hip, center of knee, center of ankle. Then you go to your minor fine registration points. So next, behind the scenes, what does the MACO product specialist do? This is all he does before you even enter the operation theater. He does all this work 1 day prior. I want to show you how accurate this can be. So the first thing he does is gets a CT load. This page shows the CT scan over the 3 regions, the hip, knee and ankle. It also helps to reconfirm the patient's name and the operative site. Next, he has to mark out all the CT landmarks. So you have multiple landmarks in the femur and the tibia, which I'll explain a little more. With all these landmarks, we get all these, the robot learns about the patient's mechanical axis, the transepicondylar axis, the femur mediolateral axis, and the femur AP axis with the help of all these points that the product specialist has entered. So the first thing is he does the hip center. Mind you, every single point that he is marking is taken on all three planes, so that there is no chance of any error. All the three, coronal, sagittal, and the axial planes, and you make sure that you get the dead center in the hip. Then the knee center is taken at the most distal point of the trochlear groove. Medial epicondyle at the sulcus, the lateral epicondyle at the proudest point, and then on the tibia, you get the medial and lateral malleoli, and of course the rotational landmarks. The same way that we see the rotation in the conventional, we actually mark it out over here, the medial third of the tibial tuberosity to the footprint of the PCL. The knee center is also taken. Again, I mentioned all the three views to make sure that it is very, very accurate. Now, the MPS usually does this beforehand, but if you have any doubts, you can also check it on your own. Then the resection landmarks are also determined, and then you go for your implant planning page. In MACO THR, you have 24 CT landmarks, and this helps to avoid any malposition on the CT table. It's taken care of by these markings. In the acetabulum, you have the three main points: center of rotation, posterior acetabulum, and the anterior acetabulum. So the robot knows the orientation of the patient. In the femur, the lesser trochanter is the most important point that we mark, so that it gives us the length calculation as well. Okay. So what are the advantages of this image-based robots? You have the accuracy of the bone registration, you understand the pathology and the location of the osteophytes, bone defects, you can do accurate sizing. Now you can actually shape match the femur and the posterior condylar offset. All these things can be done now. If you see a comparison between the CT-based and the imageless, the bony landmarks, the surgeon has to physically locate these in the imageless. But here in the CT scan-based, we are just matching to what is already there. There are a few papers showing that there can be a human error in the imageless navigation and imageless robotics, but though it is very low, it's much less in the CT-based ones. The bone registration itself, here, as I said, in the CT-based, it's just point registration. In imageless, you have to paint it out. Just to show you the comparative videos, on the top you have the Navio, where you're actually painting out the whole femur, and in the bottom you already have the CT scan. This is the 3D model of the patient. We just have to reconfirm with the 40 points the bony registration. The accuracy of sizing, this is a paper by Sebastian Lustig, which showed much more reproducibility in terms of femoral posterior offset, tibial sizing, and femoral sizing in the MACO. Enhanced planning, as I mentioned, just another 2-3 slides. You can see where the defects are. You can plan whether your offset is matching or not. And you can also move your implants around 6 degrees of freedom even before you enter the procedure. Disadvantages, of course, there's the whole thought about the CT scan radiation, but the papers have found that it's hardly 2.7 MSV, which is even less than a CT chest. And what about the cost? Yes, they do say this is a nice paper which compares patient-specific navigation, imageless and image-based robotics. What about the time? The time taken in image-based is even less than the time taken for the imageless because of the painting. But the cost definitely is more for image-based compared to imageless, if you're including the CT scan cost as well. So in conclusion, this particular paper shows that the accuracy of these CT-based are very, very close to post-operative CT scans which were taken to just confirm. And this showed that the accuracy is within 2 degrees of variation from the post-op CT scans as well. Thank you.